Hello everybody, this is Yousef and welcome to my channel. This going to be the second video that I'm making after I came back from my trip to Iran. And the first one, it hasn't been on air because there was some technical problem as far as the voice. We're trying to figure out how to fix that. So I'm not sure if this is going to be first one or the other one's going to be first one. Anyway, today we are going to have a Kaleh Gonjeshki. Kaleh Gonjeshki means Sparrow's Head, and it's a funny name, but because there is a meatball that is little and is just like a sparrow's head. And the food is originated from Tehran, capital of Iran, and everybody that grew up there, they know this food very well. And we used to have it, a few times a year. Anyway, it's very easy and it's not difficult to make it. And I decided to make this one today. And let's go over ingredients and start making it. One thing that I like to talk about it, I'm not here to teach anybody. I'm just making a food, and if someone likes the Persian food or they miss the Persian food, if they look in my channel, you can copy and make the food. So for that reason, there is no right way or wrong way. If there is any way, you correct it if you know that. What I have here, for tonight or today's meal, I have about 1 pound or half a kilogram of ground beef, which is pretty lean. It's between 5 to 7% fat only. For making this food, I need to have 3 potatoes, 3 tomatoes, 2 onions, 1 clove of garlic, and the spices is going to be salt, 1.5 teaspoon, 1.5 teaspoon black pepper, 1.5 teaspoon turmeric. Here is a chickpea powder. It's about 1.5 tablespoon. And I have 2.5 tablespoon also tomato paste. This food, actually, there is a choice to have it either with the bread or the rice. So I'm going to show you both. For that reason, I have 2 cups of rice. I washed it and make it ready to cook. And I have also some saffron that I did not mention because it's not part of the food, but it's an option. I like always to have some kind of, spice that makes it even nicer aroma and a color. So for that reason, most of the time I use saffron. And for all this thing to put together, we need a little bit oil too. So it's your choice of oil. Is it olive oil or vegetable? What kind of oil? Let's go and start making it. So this food actually has 2 parts. One is the preparation of the sauce, and the other one is the meat itself. So we try to make it at the same time. For that reason, I'm going to use one of these onions to ground it with the, whatever your favorite way to do that, either with something like that or just put it in a little blender. And the other one is going to be chopped in small pieces. And for the sauce, this one is going to go for the meat, and the other one. Also need to make these 3 tomatoes a puree, and gonna take the peels off and cut them in small pieces. So I'm not gonna talk too much anymore and start going over to making it. After you done with the grinding, you should take the most of the juice out. All right, now is ready to get the juice out as much as you can. Okay, this is good enough. So we use this one for the meat. Try to put this juice out and come back, put those together. All right. All right, what we gonna add to this one is the whole chickpea powder. Whatever I have here, I'm gonna use half of it. Okay, as I said, you know, there's two parts. One is the meat itself, the other one is gonna be the sauce. So we use whatever we have here as a spice, we're gonna use it half and half. Half of everything we have as far as the spices goes to meat, and the other half goes to making our sauce. So for now, I put this aside. Then later on, I have to mix them together and start making a little meatball or Sparrow's Head. Okay. Now, here I had 1 clove of garlic also, which I haven't touched that yet. I like to make it like a very small pieces. All right, let's go start making the sauce and start making the meatball at the same time, so we're not going to waste the time. For that, making it sauce, need a pan. It depends on what you want to do, how big or small is up to you. Using our cooking oil a little bit. All right, we put one of our onion for the sauce. This one is going to go for the sauce. And while they are sauteing away, we can go and just prepare our meatball. Here we're going to mix all the ingredients here together. But anyway, you should use your hand to mix them very well together. All right, if you look at this, it tells you how the chickpea powder works here. See that? It keeps them together very well. And that's the reason we need a little bit of a chickpeas. You see that? It's all nice and even and sticking together very well. All right? So, this is done. While this is sauteing away and our meats are ready for just making a meatball, we start making our rice too. Put the rice here, and I'm going to put about like a couple also, or 2 or 2.5 cups of water. Is good enough. A little bit the salt for this, because the salt that I had over there is for just the sauce and the meat itself. For rice, I have to use separate for rice only, and cooking oil. This one is not going to be upkesh, or we're not going to drain the water. So from the beginning I put the oil that it needs to be cooked with. So we let this one cook. When the water, almost all of them absorb, then we come back and do the part that it needs to be done. This is ready for just add some of the spices, because the color is changed as soon as it's translucent and it became soft. I need to put the rest of the spices, as far as the garlic, salt and pepper. So I'm going to put all those things together right now. For the color and a taste, here is the time for just the tomato paste, because if you go with this, it actually is going to bring the color. And also at the same time I'm going to add our garlic, that little garlic that I had here. Okay, now is the time to add some water in this. The water that I'm putting here, it all depends on how you want to eat it. If you want to be saucy or a heavy sauce, so that you can choose to put the water either 1 cup or 2 cup or 3 cup, is up to you. Now this much water is good, because because we have 3 tomatoes also, which I said going to puree and put it in this one. So it's going to bring it a little bit more and make it heavier sauce. So let's go and puree that and add it to this one. Okay. It's good enough. It's going to this. Okay. What a color. All right, as soon as it start boiling again, I'm going to lower the heat and let it be cooked while we're making our meatball. Before I make my meatball, I like to cut these potatoes, and those are the size that I like to have. I'm going to put this in a bowl with the water to get the starch out, and also to keep it fresh till it's a time for those to be a little bit sauteed, and to put them in our sauce. Okay, as I said, start boiling. I'm going to add salt and a pepper to it and reduce the heat and let it cook till our meatballs are ready. All right, as I said, I put this in the water and put it aside till it gets its turn. Now we are going to be ready for our meatball. As you see, the water is almost gone on this one, and it's pretty much ready for just let it be steam cooked. But what I like to do on this one, I like to make a nice tahdik on this one. So need to take this one, put it in another pot, and on the bottom put some saffron with just a spoon of yogurt and some of the rice. to mix it and put it in the bottom and put the rice back again. Took the most of the rice here. So what is left here, I'm gonna add some saffron and 1 spoon of yogurt. Mix this together. All right. Just a little bit more oil to prevent from the burning. And go like this. And return the rest of the rice into this. Okay, you just push it a little bit, make it flat like this. It's different from the one that you drain the water. So let me put it on a heat again with the low heat and let it steam, but 35-40 minutes it's going to be ready. At that time the rest of the food is going to be ready too. See you then. All right, it's time to make our meatball. Just a little bit wet your hand, take a small piece. It should be some size between a walnut and hazelnut. So not too big, not too small. So maybe this size is okay, I believe. Or if it's a little bit smaller, you want to make it that's okay too, like this size. So these are the good size. Now it's a time for our meatball to be sauteed a little bit, and not too much. Yeah, as you see, I put a little bit of oil in there, and you don't have to put too much oil. The reason that I put, because my meat is very lean, so you don't want to be burned. Let's make sure each side is going to be cooked a little bit. Now, one thing that I want to say is, you manage your time. If you want to do this first and put it aside, that's you can do. Or you make sauce first and this, or make them all together. It's totally up to you. So, but at the end you have to mix them together to make it ready. But now when and what time is totally up to you. Which one you want to do first, put it aside and do that next, or you do things together. As I said, there is no right or wrong way. Okay, to me these are pretty good. It's good enough. So I'm going to take it off of here and put the heat down. That's good enough because it's going to go in the sauce as it's going to cook again for another 20 minutes. So that's good enough. Now we use same pan with the oil, if it's left in there, anything, to give them a little bit heat and saute a little bit of our potatoes. As I said, the same pan I'm going to use to saute a little bit our our potatoes. All right, some people, they don't even bother to just saute a little bit of potatoes, but this is how I learned from my mother. She always was doing this, then put it in the sauce. So, but I know there are some people, they never do that, and directly they put it in a sauce and let it cook through the with the sauce for about an hour or so. Now, in just few minutes after I saute this, we should put this with the meatball into our sauce right here. Okay, so just give us a couple more minutes, then we are putting together. All right, its sauce is 100% is ready to accept our meatballs and the potatoes. Okay, in about like 20 minutes, our food is going to be ready. Now I like to add a little bit the saffron that we had for the better taste and also the color. All right, guys, this is our Kaleh Gonjeshki. It turns to be wonderful. So as we talk about it, you can eat this with the rice, which my rice didn't turn to be perfect, but it still is not bad. And the reason is because the rice itself is cooked a little bit more than what it's supposed. But anyway, it's okay. Also, you can have it with the bread. Most of the people, they have a different preference. And you can have this with the pickled onion, which is wonderful taste, or sabzi herbs, is basil, tarragon, radish, and also another pickled vegetable right there, and also pickled garlic. So if you like that, it's not for everybody, but anyway, the food tastes absolutely fantastic and looks great, and I'm gonna have a nice dinner tonight with this. All right, and I hope you make this, and just let me know if you like that or not. And it's pretty fun to make this food. And I again thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate your support, and I'm looking forward to see you in next video. Till then, bye.